don't know me, welcome, first of all. My name is Ethan. I work with Merced College. I do recruitment, so it's called outreach or recruitment for our career technical education programs, or CTE for short, which are programs that we have designed to pretty much, in a nutshell, get you skills and get you trained, and then hopefully, like you'd be going to look for some work or something like that, or even to further your education. But in general, that's what it is. Um, and so what we wanted to talk about today is our welding program, which is a very popular program that always seems to be full. And we have one in Merced and we have one in Los Banos. We have several different tracks you can go on. So we want to talk a little bit about that today. And I do have an instructor here with me in case you didn't hear earlier. Mr. Scroggins is here to enlighten us and share his expertise on what the program is about, what you will learn in there, and anything else that he has to contribute. So I'm just going to go through a slideshow here, and we're going to talk about jobs you might be able to get, what the Merced College experience is like, financial aid, and all kinds of things like that. So I'd like to start out just by showing, in case anybody gets disconnected or anything, now would be a good time. So this is our Fast Track CTE support team. This is a team of people, you can see there's 5 of us, that we are dedicated to helping you get into a fast track program with Merced College, and also to supporting you throughout your journey in the program. Welding is a very fast program. It is only 1 semester. It can move on to 2 depending on if you want to go further. But in general, it's 1 semester. So, your support and everything will be, you might not need any. Some programs we have are a little longer, 2 and 3 semesters. So we do help people to do other things in that time. But if you ever find yourself needing support, anybody on this list can help you. I am up there in the top left. My phone number is there. My email address is there. We're all working from home pretty much, all of us on this list. So, contact us on one of those numbers and we'll get in touch with you. But if you ever do join the program, or even if you're trying to get into college and like that sign in the middle says, you're ever needing like help, you need support, just advice, you're lost, you're struggling, guidance, whatever it is, all of us can help you. We all work very closely together, and we'll be able to contact each other if we don't know the answer. So that is an important slide. If you can write down, especially like my number, since I am presenting to you today, that would be great, but any one of us can help. So moving on. So this is where I'm going to let you know if Ben, if you have anything to add here, please do, because like we're going to go here. So like I said last time, this is words. Okay. It's a lot of information. I lifted this from a couple different places. So I will just kind of go in a little bit and read this. And then Ben, once I'm done, if you have something to add, please do. But the welding program for me, so what is the welding program about? Well, if you don't know a lot about welding, you might just think, well, welding's welding. But of course, like everything else humans have ever created, it's complicated, right? There are a lot of different kinds of welding, and you can kind of see as you read through there. There's just different times, there's different techniques and everything that go into that. So in general, just to read it, our program, what it does, it's going to prepare you for employment, which is kind of what I said, right? It's going to prepare you for employment in structural welding, which would be like building frames, like, I don't know, housing frames or anything like that. That would be like a structure, right? Welding repair, job shop welding, and production welding. So the program, it's not only designed to train new welders, but it also could be people who already have some skills or maybe working. Maybe their employer's requiring a certification and they need to get a certificate. So our program is also designed in that way so that you can get those skills, update them, or refresh them. So if you know anybody who is already working in this and maybe wants to brush up their skills, definitely mention it to them because it could be relevant to them. So this is kind of where I'm going to really kind of lean on Ben, I think, a little bit about. But just so you know, so like I said, there are a lot of different types of welding. As you can see, I'm not going to read through that whole thing right there because that's a lot. That's alphabet soup, we call that. That's alphabet soup of welding types, and all those things are different types of welding and different techniques. So Ben, do you have any input on that, on what kinds of welding you'll learn in the program?
Yeah, pretty much, we go through kind of take you from a beginning standpoint. Like you said, even if you come in with some welding experience, a lot of times we have students who maybe spent 3 or 4 years of high school in metal shop or ag welding. We kind of even take those guys and gals back to basics, starting off with like sheet metal arc welding or stick welding. We kind of make sure everyone is well versed and fine tuned in running stick welding. We go through all the wire welding processes, all the real common ones, um, like just regular steel wire, like your typical kind of MIG welding that you'd find in almost any shop. We get into some of the different metals. We do some stainless steel wire welding, aluminum welding with the spool gun and the push pull gun, which is real common, like in trailer manufacturing. A lot of aluminum trailers, especially here up and down the valley, get fabricated with the aluminum. So we get students up to speed with that. Some of the other wires and welding processes used in structural welding, like the dual shield flux core and self shielded flux core welding as well. We kind of go through all the wire welding stuff, and then really focus in pretty much all the classes, making sure as you go through the program that your skills with the oxyacetylene cutting torch are fine tuned as well. That you get really experience with that as far as cutting and beveling with the torch, as well as a plasma cutter. Throughout the program too, we're not just focused on welding. As I mentioned here, we're really focused on safety. I spent 20 years in industry, and I've seen a lot of accidents, and they're all preventable. So we want to give students, as they enter the workforce, that good a foundation, and make them safety conscious so they can have a long career. So we really focus on safety, doing things the right way, the safe way, kind of examining how we do things per job to make sure it's the safe way. So we learn about the safe way to use all the equipment, as well as welding safety, so you can have a long career in welding. We get experience not just with the welding equipment, but we have lots of other equipment in the shop, as far as different types of saws and shears, pipe cutting equipment, angle grinders. Make sure everyone knows how to use an angle grinder properly, because that's a valuable tool that you'll be using throughout your career in industry. Iron workers, punching holes, drilling holes. We kind of make sure that you have some experience, with the other shop equipment that you'll be exposed to potentially in your career. We get into some of the other classes. We get real in depth into reading drawings and blueprints and weld symbols, things like that as well. So it's not just actually burning wire or welding. We kind of cover a lot of the stuff associated that you're going to need to have a good foundation as you enter industry.
Yeah, that's good. And you bring up so many good points, because that is, like, when I was writing this, I go, like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a lot about welding. You know what I mean? I know welders, I know what welding is, but when I started to read about all the different types and things like that, and it really did. That's why I kind of put that on there about safety and everything, because that is important. Any job you go to, not just for welding, but a lot, that's like one of the big things is safety in the workplace, right? It sounds kind of like, oh, boring, whatever, I'm not going to hurt myself, but especially with this type of work, that's really important. So those skills beside welding, yes, are important skills that will be taught, and that you'll be expected to know and follow, because that's something that employers, it's a liability issue, it's things like that. So if you're a safe employee, you're a good employee. So thank you for filling that stuff in. You're not done though. I got a lot more for you. So
as another example, like right there at the bottom right of this paragraph, it mentions CACA, or carbon arc cutting air. I was actually in a shop today doing some weld inspection, and they have these two welders that are real experienced welders. They come from a welding family, you could even say. Their dad and their grandfather run like a welding school in Modesto. Well, they're welding this structural I-beam, and part of the welding they had to do on it, they had to use the carbon arc cutter, and they don't have much experience with it, so they kind of made a mess of this project they were working on. It's going to cause their company lots of extra money and time to do it right, and they're admitted, they're not experienced with the carbon arc. Well, that's one thing that we really focus on through a few of the classes too, making sure students are exposed to using things like the carbon arc cutter, because a lot of times if you get into structural welding or welding repair as maybe like a maintenance mechanic or something like that, you're gonna need other tools besides just the welder. So we try to make sure you're ready for whatever.
Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. So there you go. There you have it. You're going to be learning a lot.
Wow.
So the program is to make you a well-rounded, good, knowledgeable, safe, strongly skilled employee. Okay, or a knowledgeable person, let's just say. Okay, so let me take the reins here for a little bit because I would just like to talk for a minute. And if I say something wrong, please let me know. Um, we're going to talk about how this program is laid out. So, like I mentioned earlier, fast track program is what I like to promote. These is the fastest, most accelerated way to get out of the program. Um, but of course, there are many options. So if we start on the left and you see like, okay, I'm down, I'm ready. Let's get the skills, let's get enrolled. How fast can I do it? So the fastest that you can do it is in 1 semester. And what that means is if you were to enroll in like, let's say spring coming up this next new year, that's from January to May. You would take your 7 classes, 18 units, and you would be done if you pass them all. And that would be getting your welding technology certificate. So it is extremely fast. It can be done very, very quickly, and you can be getting certified in just a little amount of time. Um, this program, even though coronavirus is crazy out there, it is still in person because this is obviously a hands-on trade. You have to have the experience in the lab, and so we have made modifications. The program has been reduced, I would say, like in half, pretty much. So we have less people there because we have to adhere to social distancing guidelines. And just in the lab, that was really the most feasible way to do it. So it is going on, but it is getting very full. That's one of the benefits of the fast track program is that you still get, the on-hand experience. And another big benefit to the fast track program is that we have something special, which I've already talked about on that second slide with all of our contact info, your support team. So not just us, obviously your instructors, but the support team is a very unique feature. It's kind of like a look into the future because the way that the college wants to go is to have what are like completion coaches or a completion team to help you succeed. And so that's kind of what we've integrated here in an early stage. So we are here to support you through every step of the way. If you had any kind of a barrier with your, you were hungry, I don't know, or you had childcare issues. You couldn't afford your gloves that you need for welding, or you can't afford the materials that you need to buy in the class. Or just whatever it is, you're having emotional stress. This coronavirus got you down. Those are the kinds of things that we're here for. So this is not a normal thing that we have in place with every program on campus right now. So it is a strong incentive to join because there will be barriers and there will be confusion if you have never been to college before. So definitely take advantage of that and know that we are here to help you if you do decide to join any program in the fast track series. But so that's great. You can get it done fast, but like, let's just say you got way too much going on. You got to work full time to support your family, or, you just got too many kids and you can't afford, you got to take care of them. Or it's just too much. You can't handle 18 units. It's too much to do. You just want to go take it a little slower. That's completely fine. And it's totally possible in this program. This program has many pathways you can take. And if you want to, you can just take a few classes. So one way that you can do it, there are defined pathways here. The first way I'd like to say is that this program is unique in that every class is offered pretty much every semester because it's only 1 semester long. Other programs that we have, they aren't offered in that way. You may only be able to take certain classes in the fall, or you may only be able to take certain classes in the spring. So this program is a little bit different in that way. So if you wanted to, let me kind of explain how the program is laid out. So in general, like let's say this semester coming up, we have about 15 spots, I would say roughly in this program. So 12 of them have been reserved for these fast track people, the people on the left side that want to get it done fast. And then the remaining 3 seats that we have there are for people that we call them parallel sections, but they're exactly the same in every way. Same instructor, same time. You're actually in the class with the fast track people. It's just that you're not taking all of them together necessarily. Maybe you have taken a welding class in high school, like Ben was saying, and you have credit already at Merced College. Well, the way that the classes are set up at Merced College, you would not be able to enroll into the fast track program if you've already completed something at the high school and you have credit. It's just the way that it works. The system, it will not allow you to do that because the classes are linked together. And so the system will say, you can't do it because you've already passed this one class. And that's why we've set up these alternate pathways, because there's always a different situation for people. So if you needed to, you can always take just a couple at a time, if that's what you need to do for whatever reason. If you are working, let's say full time, we do have an evening pathway that you can sign up for. It is a 2-semester program, and it will go from fall, and then it will wrap up in the spring. So starting this spring, you know, you probably couldn't jump into the evening pathway, but just know that it is there. It's later in the evening so that you can get these classes done on a schedule that works for you. And then there's also a Friday, Saturday pathway on this one that is 3 semesters. It's a little misleading to say 3 semesters, I think, because it goes from spring, summer, and fall. So for me, it's like only 2 because summer is so short. It's almost like it's not really a semester, you know? So whatever pathway you take, you can get this program done very, very quickly. And there are many options to fit your schedule. So if you ever had questions about that, or you were thinking like, I can't do the fast track, what are my options? Contact me or anybody on that list, and we can help you figure out what would work for you. And the last point there, even if you joined and you were not in the fast track program, you are still going to get access to that dedicated support team. So it doesn't matter if you're just taking one welding class, if you need help, you can still access us. So that's a great benefit to this program. So that's just a little bit about our pathways that we have and our options for enrolling in the program. So just to touch a little bit more on that, this is actually a schedule for the fast track program for welding, which it looks like, now that I look at this, that looks really, really crazy. And the reason why that is, I'll kind of explain it right now. So what you're looking at on the left, that calendar, it is a, you can see, on the top is the days of the week, and on the left side are the times. So from Monday through Thursday, that's when these classes take place. And they take place between 7 a.m. and about, let's just say 3:30 p.m. most days. And then there's no class on Friday. But it's a little misleading because it looks like you're taking a ton of classes at the same time. But the reason why it looks like that is because some of these classes, like for instance, I don't know if you can even read that, but there's one that says Welding 40A and Welding 40B on the Monday column. Those classes aren't going on at the same time. They actually take place on different months because you have to take Welding 40A first before you can take 40B. So even though they look like they're stacked, you're not taking all these classes at the same time. You might only be taking 2 or 3. And then once those are done, you move on to the next ones. So that's kind of how this is going. And on the right side, how it says it's a cohort. So we call that a cohort. Every class that you're in this program, you will obviously be in the same class with the same people who are going through the program with you. So you can develop those friendships and you can develop those connections to help you study, or, you know, to do projects, or just, you know, build that kind of camaraderie in the program that you're all going through together. So that's a good benefit to this program as well. And also just know that financial aid, even though this is a certificate program on its face, it is still eligible for financial aid. So you can qualify to have these classes paid for, get help on your books. Just depending on your situation, it is still an eligible program. Okay, so this one I might use Ben a little bit, but let me just explain what you're looking at here. And I do have printouts here if you want me to go over this, Ben, but this is just a course breakdown between for the welding program. So what you're looking at on the left, that is your first semester. So this is the 1 semester that I was talking about, the 18 units. And the way that I've done this is I've actually listed these classes on the left in the order that you will take them. So starting with Weld 7 all the way down to Weld 46, which would be like the culmination of all your learning in one class there. And then on the right side would be your second, what we call a stackable semester. So I haven't really talked about that a lot, but the other benefit to this program is that we have what are called stackable certificates. So you can get your welding technology, your 18 unit certificate, and then you can build on top of that. You can stack on another certificate by taking 2 more classes to get this pipe welding certificate. And once you do that, then, you know, you automatically get that certificate. You become more marketable, you have more skills. And that's what this program offers, are these 2 options. So I don't know if you wanted to go in a little bit more, Ben, about how the classes are laid out, or if you had any insight into anything what I did on the last presentation, I actually went into every single class and kind of detailed it, but
Okay.
you don't have to do that.
Yeah, I'll talk about it real quick, kind of the program, the classes. So on the left side, when you're in the fast track program, that Well 53 is the only like 18-week long class, so it's like a full semester, and that's because it runs Monday through Thursday from 7 a.m. to 7:50 a.m. It's like an hour a morning, and that one will last all 18 weeks. That's the welding class where we don't really do any welding. All we do is learn shop and welding safety and how to use all the equipment properly. But then your classes start with the Weld 7. That one, I think we run it for 6 weeks. So it's spread out over 6 weeks. Starts at 8 a.m. after the Well 53. Then you go into the drafting 44. A lot of times we run that one concurrently, the same day as Well 7. That's why we spread that one out, because they both run the same days, which is you learn a lot about reading fabrication drawings and welding symbols and dimensioning. Then you roll into a Weld 6, which is going to be a 3-week long class. So we take what would traditionally be taught and experience over 18 weeks, and we cram it into 3 weeks. So that'll run, typically from like 8 a.m. to around 4 p.m. or so, Monday through Thursday. And then the same things happen with the 40A, 40B. Those classes will be 3 weeks long, most of the day long. And then the final class is Weld 46, which is a cool class because you actually, it's kind of like the capstone class, you could say. Myself and the other professor at the Merced campus are AWS certified welding inspectors. So we're actually able to certify students. So in that class, when you complete the program, you have the opportunity to leave the program not just with your certificate of completion, but being actual certified welders in up to 3 processes with gas metal arc welding or MIG or stick welding, flux core arc welding, or TIG welding. So you can be certified to AWSD 1.1, which is a structural welding code for steel, which is another good thing that can really help get an employer's attention and give you a leg up when you're competing for jobs out there. The 40B class is really fun too, the advanced welding design and construction. And that one you have the opportunity to fabricate your own project. If you have one, a lot of students end up making barbecues, which I think is kind of boring. But we also have other bigger projects, typically we have trailer dollies or trailers or something that we make for community members that we get students working on too, and you get real good fabrication experience in those classes. Those stackable certificates, that the pipe welding ones over there on the right, Well 51 and Well 52, those really hone your skills when it comes to stick welding and TIG welding. And we really focus getting your skills ready for entering one of the pipe welding industries, whether it's petroleum or gas transfer pipes, working out on a pipeline somewhere. We really kind of focus on skills to get you ready for that, as well as some TIG welding focused on like process pipe welding, which is like stainless steel pipe that's used throughout the valley here a lot in food processing, wineries, things like that. And this certificate and these skills are really cool because these are the welding jobs, especially here in this area, they're going to pay the most money when you get doing some of that pipe welding, whether it's oil or gas pipe or food processing, do some sanitary welding. We have students who leave the program and go right into those industries and start making good money right away. Believe it or not, we have so much here in the valley when it comes to like food processing and breweries and wineries, things like that. They don't have enough welders out there to weld this stuff. When they install new equipment, there's not enough skilled welders out there to do this, high-paying welding jobs. And a lot of times, welders from out of state come in and do this welding. So if you're able to, leave our program with these skills and able to go directly into high paying jobs. It's really nice.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Thank you very much. That was perfect. Yeah, and that's I'm glad I learned a lot there. I have all my little cheater notes because I don't know all these by heart, but yeah. So as you can see, there are skills and like Mr. Scroggins said that are relevant, right, for the area that we're in. There's other kinds of welding. There's like underwater welding, right, and all the kinds of different things. And but we don't have a lot of water around here, so these are relevant skills for this area. If you plan to stay, if you have a family, or you just don't want to go and you just love the Central Valley, I mean, I've heard people do so. And there was something I wanted to ask. I had a little note here. I know that something's being bought for this program. They're buying like flow regulators, right? They're just purchasing all that. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, we're just updating the gas manifolds in our welding booths, kind of make it run more efficient.
More efficiently. Okay, yeah, because I saw they are upgrading equipment in these labs. As you can see, like this picture right here on this this slide. I mean, that's an actual picture, right, of somebody in our lab. What are they doing there?
That looks like they're doing some stick welding, some sheet metal arc welding.
Yeah, so they're doing some actual welding.
Out of position welding, whether it be horizontal or vertical up or something.
Cool. Yeah, so you can see everybody's got their own station there, and it's all set up in the lab. I was looking for some pictures, but I couldn't find any. So sorry, I was hoping to get some pictures of the lab up there for you all to see. But I mean, there's a full lab on campus. And in Los Banos, if you live in that area, they have a facility off campus that they have a full lab in as well. And this has got all the equipment that you need to learn on, and you can see people are doing stuff there. So that's just a little bit about the program and what you learn again. And that was great. Thank you, Ben. So just to reiterate a little bit, so we talked about this a couple times, but these are the certificates that you can get through this program. So the welding technology, that is your 18-unit certificate that you will get if you enroll in the fast track or whichever way. That's the base certificate. And then if you want to go all the way and get your pipe welding, like Ben was saying, to be able to work in food or petroleum or whatever kind of specialized pipe where they require that kind of specialized welding, you can get those skills and get yourself a pipe welding technology certificate as well. And like, here we go. So a couple certificates are nice, but like, I can go and get a job and maybe that'll be enough. Like Ben said, I can get certified 3 ways and I'll be bomb.com. But what if you want to go really big? What if you really want to stand out and show that you're serious, that you are a welder like for life? You can get an associate degree too in welding technology. You can go all the way, right? And go big. So the welding technology certificate can turn into an associate degree, which is a 2-year degree. Sounds like a lot more, but don't get discouraged. So if you want to go all the way, you go all the way. What you have to do to convert this into an associate degree is you have to take your general education classes. So that's going to be like your English class, your math class. You'll have to take some maybe a history or a psychology, all those kind of, just to get yourself a well-rounded general education. You will have already taken all your welding classes, right? Because you already got your certificate. And then you can leave with an associate degree. And it'll just put you a step above everybody else. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to waste my time when I can just go to work? There's something to be said in degrees. There are jobs where you can't even qualify if you just don't have a bachelor's degree. You don't have a degree, you don't even get to apply. So something to think about. It can put you above. It can be, it can be a negotiating factor for your salary. Think about it, before stopping at certificate. And you never know what will happen when you get your education, what you might get introduced to, or where it can take you. You can be teaching, like Mr. Scroggins says. Who knows?
Yeah. So always encourage students, if they're interested, go out there that associate degree, because even in the future it can mean that leg up on people. If you're competing for a promotion, whether to be to a supervisor or a quality control type position, having that associate degree can really help you be looked at above and beyond another candidate. Things like you might not want to weld for the rest of your life. You may weld for many years and go in the direction of being like a weld inspector, and there's certain weld inspection certifications that where if you have some college or like a degree, it gives you like credit earned, so you don't have to work as hard to get those non-destructive testing certifications, things like that. So it's really a benefit if you can to go after that associate degree.
Yeah, you hear this? This man is intelligent. Listen to him. So let's move on to a little bit about the career outlook. So, I just pulled this information from a website. It's called the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It's federal government run, just basic information. Now, take this information with a grain of salt, because I'm going to tell you that this is national averages, right? So we live in California, things are different. We live in the Central Valley, things are even more different. So as you can see, this is welders, cutters, solderers, and what is it, braziers? How do you say that word? And brazers. Okay, and so as you can see here, this is last year. Median pay for the whole country is $20 an hour. And that's pretty good, $42,000 a year. And you see what you mean? You only need your high school diploma of equivalent, which would be like a certification. And you see the on-the-job training. I think that's something that is important to point out. There probably will be some, learning on the job, and you're going to learn, you're going to obviously learn stuff in class, but you're going to be getting experience when you go into the field. So the jobs are expected to grow just as fast as any other job in the United States. It's not declining. It's not going away. These are still in demand, growing jobs. So the map on the right, like I know, what does that even mean? Like, that's just pretty colors. It's kind of camouflage, right? Camouflage USA. So, but if you look here, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse if I point right there, but can you see that? I don't think so. We're this little, like, this county right here. Like, I wish I could highlight it for you. Oops, hold on. We're this little county here. We're in this little kind of light green area. And in our area, we are surrounded by, if you look at these bottom colors here, where it has like this kind of dark green, is 870 to 18,000. We are in this like 390 and surrounded by this dark green 870 color. So what that means in layman's terms is there are jobs. There are jobs, and there are people employed in this area, up and down the valley and in the Bay Area, where people are employed. And as you can see, not only there, but like, let's say you were just like, I don't know about the Central Valley. Like, maybe it's not cool for me. It's cool for you, Ethan, but not for me. Do you see the rest of this map? So this is the whole United States. You can go work in Alaska if you want to go. You want to go live in paradise, you can go to Hawaii. Welding is a nationwide job, a worldwide job. So this is a skill and a career that can take you anywhere you want to go, and you can go work and live wherever you want to and still have employment. So it's definitely something that is in demand, and that is secure. So just some factoids to throw out there. Unless you have anything to add, Ben, I'm not sure.
Welding, you'll always be able to find a job wherever you go. So someone needs something welded. So it like you said, it's one of those things, you can go anywhere. If you take those pipe classes, you can go, down to Texas and up north to Wyoming or wherever that pipeline is, and chase that pipeline and make all kinds of money. So there's big opportunities out there.
Yeah, good stuff. Now this is oops, I forgot to take that out. So maybe Ben. So I thought I had a success story under my belt, but guess what? I didn't. So what I like to share is I like to try to share a story of one of our students. Ben, do you know anybody that you can think of off the top of your head that left the program that might have told you that they got a job somewhere, or that they had something go on for them?
Yeah, most of our students, we hear back, that they get jobs. A lot of times towards the end of the semester, we're having to work with the students, kind of finish them up early because they have a job lined up, and they're ready to, start before the semester starts. So I know we've had students who end up, complete, the pipe welding stuff, and we have a couple who weld on pipes for PG&E. They have their own welding trucks now, own welding rigs. They have $80,000 4-wheel drive diesel trucks with big shiny welders on the back, and they're being subcontracted by PG&E to do welding. We have, myself, I'm a Merced College alumni. I graduated the welding program back in a long time ago. And I spent years in industry, kind of moved up, learned a lot, and kind of got to the top of a level in my industry. And now I'm back teaching. So, I mean, it can open many doors and give you a successful, career and be able to provide pretty nicely for your family.
Yeah. I love that. I love a good Merced College success story too. That's my story as well. Going around and coming back full circle. But so you can see, I mean, I don't have somebody's name. I had a pretty good story for AOM, but people are getting jobs before they're even out of the program. You know what I mean? So this is the real, take advantage of this opportunity, if you have it. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about some things you can do to be successful, because I don't want to take all your time. So I'm going to kind of breeze through some of these slides real fast, because I noticed that we're kind of running short on time. This is important, and I want to talk about this for sure. So why go to Merced College and not a local trade school, okay? A school that will teach you this trade. So let me break this down about why it would be smarter to come to Merced College, okay? This is real data. This chart on the left, this is something I pulled recently from a local school that teaches a program that is almost identical to our program in every single way. And I didn't get a good breakdown, but you can see here, okay, this includes this number, which I don't even want to say out loud. This number includes the amount it will cost you to actually just to get your name on the roster of the program, the roll sheet, and your books and your supplies and your rent and all that stuff. So take this with a grain of salt, but this program costs you $37,000. $37,000, okay? This is, I mean, that's just like a ton of money. That is like, how are you gonna pay that, right? That's a lot of money. That's like more than a yearly salary for a ton of people. And even after all is said and done on that list, you can see your grants and scholarships. So that's your free money. Even after all your free money, your remaining tuition balance is $24,000. That's assuming you're even eligible for that grant money, okay? That's $24,000 in loans. So that's a ton of money. You're gonna be repaying that for many years, okay? Just to get the same education that we can offer you here at Merced College. So what does it cost here at Merced College to do this program? My best estimate, about $1,800, okay? And that might even be overestimating, because that would be your enrollment fees, which is your like $46 per unit times 18, or if you want the pipe, times those extra 4 units. And maybe your supplies, like your gloves and your books, if you need any, and your materials, okay? $1,800, that's it, out the door, equivalent to the $37,000 you see there. But the thing is that our financial aid might cover every single penny of this, okay? I'm talking everything, because most people qualify for some form of financial aid, and we handed out over $28 million in free money 2 years ago, okay? And it's been the same ever since. So your financial aid, if you are eligible, is going to cover all the enrollment fees probably, and you are more than likely, actually, it's possible you can even be getting extra money, okay? That's what happened when I went to college. I actually had leftover money to help me pay for rent and things like that, because I was on my own. So just really, really quick, the way that you can qualify for this free money, this is our California College Promise. This is through any community college up and down the state, but we call this, this is a new thing that came in recently. How does this work? If you are graduating high school and you have never been to college before, the first 2 years are free. Like the end, that's it. It is 100% free. The state pays your enrollment fees, and all you have to do to qualify is be a California resident or a dreamer, which would be AB 540 if you know what that means. And you have to be enrolled in at least 12 units, which this program is. It is 18 units. So you will qualify if you're from high school and this is your first time. That's it. All you have to do is do your FAFSA, which is your financial aid application, or you have to do your CADA, which is the DREAM Act application. That's it, and it's free. So that's all on that slide. This one here, I do want to touch on this. So if anybody is here, or you know anybody who has maybe been to Merced College already, they've already gone to college somewhere else, and they don't qualify because they've gone to college. That's one of the requirements. You can't have gone to college. Well, we also have the Promise Grant, which sounds the same, and it pretty much is the same. The only difference is that this is based off of income requirements. So it's not just that you graduated high school and went and haven't gone. You have to be in a certain income bracket, right? Or one of these other various things that you're on. You have food stamps, or you get cash aid, or whatever it is. So just know, like I said, that over 80% of people that go to Merced College receive this type of aid. So chances are you qualify, and it would be free. Now, I got to really breeze through this. Okay, Ethan, I have applied for financial aid. I do not qualify, or I don't think that I qualify because my parents make too much money. I hear it every single day. And it just like, it breaks my heart to hear this, because I'm going to tell you this right now. There are many, many people that I have helped that thought they didn't qualify. I encouraged them to apply. They did, and they do qualify. And not just qualify for free, but actually for extra money to help them. So free money, grant money. Apply, just apply if you're even remotely considering going, because the worst thing they can do is just tell you no. So just know also, as we go down this slide, as I breeze through this, even if you didn't qualify for some reason because your parents are balling, or you're just rich beyond your wildest dreams and you don't need, whatever, you can't qualify. We have other types of aid. We have scholarships. We have grants that Merced College offers you for textbooks. We have laptops that we can lend you if you don't have a laptop, because some of this program is online right now. You will need a computer. We have textbooks available in the library that you can make copies of, or they can make copies of for you and send it to you if you're struggling and you really can't afford the books. We have a partnership with WorkNet of Merced County that can assist you with supplies like your gloves and your materials and all those things. You would just get in contact with them. It's free to apply to WorkNet. They will let you know what they can do for you if the program qualifies. And if it does, then they can give you assistance. And WorkNet also provides you extra assistance like career services, workshops, which would help you to develop your resume and so on. And if all else failed and nobody can help you because for whatever reason, like you just got the short stick, all right, you can also always do a payment plan. So even if you had that balance of, $1,000, you can make that into smaller chunks that you could do and pay in payments. So there's an option for everybody, but most people get financial aid. Okay, and this is about it. We're near the end, you guys. So I just want to kind of recap and talk about the fast track program and why you should really consider this before we take, if anybody has any questions. So our very first thing that I didn't really talk about, we do have a dedicated career technical education counselor, CTE counselor. Her name is Araceli Gonzalez. She is the bomb.com. She's been doing this for years. She knows this program like the back of her hand, and she will be able to help you get into your program and keep you on track. And she has tight relationships with me and the instructors, so we're all a big, happy family here. The thing with her that is different than other counselors is that she will follow you throughout the whole program. She will help you to apply for your certificate. She will help you to put your classes on your plan. These are things that normal counseling might not do. So it's an advantage. Shorter time to completion. Obviously, this program is a 1 semester program, maybe 2 if you take pipe classes. So that's a huge, huge benefit to this program. The stackable certificates, just told you. If you put pipe on there, this is a program where you can keep building those skills, getting certifications to help you become more desirable. When you go to turn in your resume, you can put more lines of stuff. So you can be like, hey, I got all these certifications, hire me. And the employer's like, yeah, okay, sounds good to me. So the other 3 things we have really fast, just know that normally, well, this program still is in person. So you notice how it did not meet on Fridays. And there is a reason kind of for that, or there's a reason why we take advantage of that. In case you aren't picking up on the whole thing, our overarching goal is to get you trained, get you skills, and to hopefully help you to get an internship or get you connected with an employer so that we can get you working, right? And being a productive member of society and helping you to grow as a person. So we offer these career services workshops with our career services department on Merced campus or Los Banos campus to help you to develop a resume, to develop a cover letter, to do mock interview skills. Maybe you've never interviewed, maybe you never had a job. So you need to practice. And that's what we have these for, is to help build these other kinds of skills besides welding skills. And that's something I did not mention as well that I'd like to mention. When you're in class, you will also be developing these soft skills that are very, very important when you go to get a job. Can you get to class on time? Do you have a good attitude? Do you work well with others? Do you take leadership roles? Do you take instructions well? So those are kinds of skills that are extremely important that you don't necessarily, you can't learn in a classroom 100%. So, but you can work on personally. And those are the kinds of things also that you'll hopefully learn in this program to make you really, really marketable, to help sell yourself. Instructor involvement beyond instruction. Luckily, I can kind of skip this because as you can see, we have our wonderful instructor here who has done an amazing job explaining this program. These instructors are involved. They've been in industry. They know what it's like. Like Ben said, he's gone up the ladder all the way. He knows what it's all about. So these are the kind of instructors we have, and they are here to help you along every step of the way. And that is an incredible value that you might not get from other instructors. So please take advantage of that. And then the very last thing here, assistance with paid internships. As I said, that is our overarching goal. So definitely this is all building up to that. And if you are thebomb.com and you're making a big difference, and let's say Ben says, hey, this person rocks, like you've got to help them. There might be an employment opportunity or something that we can give you, or not give you, I'm sorry, but kind of refer you to, so that you can kind of get your foot in the door and maybe get yourself some gainful employment. So all of us work together. We're all here to help you. That's what we want to really get out there and get the message across, that these programs are built to help you succeed. Okay, so I'm not going to spend any time on this because we only have a few minutes left, but just know you need to enroll early. The spring welding program is pretty much full right now. I'm not going to lie. The wait list is almost full, but if you live in the Los Banos area or you're willing to commute there, there are openings out there. The process is a little bit different. You have to go through WorkNet to be approved to join that welding program. But if you have any questions or you're just like, I don't really know, Ethan, like, is welding for me? You didn't sell it, go do your own research. Go look at jobs on Indeed. Go look at jobs on Monster. Go see, like, what are they paying? What are they looking for? Just kind of educate yourself and see, do some research, go on Wikipedia, And in case you did not pick up our information, I'm going to leave this up here at the end because I think this is our last slide, right? Yeah. So just go ahead and take down any information you need to have on here. If you want to follow up with me, please call me. That's my direct line. It comes to my cell phone because I am working at home. But any one of us can help you if you don't want to talk to me too. If you feel more comfortable talking to Araceli, our counselor, she is knowledgeable and she can help you as well. So I think that's it. I think that's all I've got for you guys. Do you guys have any questions? Do you have anything to add, Ben?
So if you can get on that wait list, if you're really interested, get on that wait list and show up the first day.
I've got two quick questions here. One is, so you showed it was like average pay was like $20 an hour, $42,000 a year. God. How does that relate to like what is it locally? Any ideas, Ben?
There are some of those $20 an hour starting jobs here. A lot of them, right out of school in this area are going to start you off, somewhere between 15 to 17 to start. Okay. But you can definitely, get some experience and work your way up to that $20. Or like I said, if you're really good, if you really get real skillful at the pipe welding stuff, here in the area, you can start off, at the $20, $22 an hour job. Oftentimes, our local pipe fitters union, they do testing throughout the year, and the other professor, Mr. Russell, he's the one who's really well versed in pipe welding. So he typically kind of tutors on the side a handful of students to go take that union test to get into that. And if you can get into that, you can make $35 an hour.
Wow. My second question, then I'll open it up to kids, is I know some students like IEPs or 504, so they're taking advantage of the DSPS services on Merced campus, which obviously lets them priority registration, which is a great thing for your classes because they're small. What about like extra time taking tests? How does that work? Because they sometimes like they'll allow extra time to take tests or a private room, but how does that work when you're like a hands-on welding?
So like for written, usually for like our written tests, because there might be some written tests. If they have those allowances, we follow the DSPS procedures. They can go take the test through them. They facilitate the test. When it comes to the welding, to be honest, I've never had to deal with like extra allowances for like a practical test. I mean, we would accommodate it, if they need extra time. Usually there's no like there's plenty of time. So the time is not a pressure when it on the lab stuff. So I've never had to really deal with the lab portion.
With that, Ethan, Mr. Scroggins, thank you so much for hosting and sharing with us today. Really appreciate it.